Hey, it's August 18th. It's the 18th of August, 2021. This is episode 121 for Risk On. And they say we couldn't make it this far. Joe?
Who said that?
I think you did, didn't you?
No.
I think you or Darren told everybody that Todd will never do anything for that long. You can't get Todd to go somewhere around 105 every day.
I don't want to.
And do the same thing every day.
I don't want to be the
But you
hard
were
bringer.
wrong.
I was not
Wrong. And you're shot for that nonsense. You don't know me anymore.
For all the people in the studio, raise your hand if you know that this show was actually my idea. The name was his. I wanted you to do a show every day on relevant news, and I knew you could do it, so don't bust my balls for that.
I don't really. You think that you invented this show?
I do.
The difference is you want to be here. For other things, it's like you want to do this. That's why you're here every day.
Ooh. Good call.
Sassy. Mm-hmm. She's sassy. Josh is in the house. Brett's here. Josh is here. Nick's here. Oh, boy. Naked was finally up today. He actually contributed to our P&L. We actually had a good P&L day today, for sure. Wow. I was very happy with that. Very pleased. I have been noticing something I could do that I actually feel like I shouldn't tell you guys because it'll be embarrassing to point it out. But I love the idea how I can do this side-by-side commentary with CNBC, and I can play for you things that I think are relatively important. One thing to point out today, for those of you who love Robinhood, let's go to the screen if we can real quick. Robinhood reported revenue more than doubles to $565 million. The last quarter on huge crypto trading.
Yep.
And what's interesting about that is, well, if they reported that big revenue on crypto trading, crypto's even higher since then, the end of the quarter, right?
Yep, it is.
I don't know that crypto trading is going to decline. And my producer keeps telling, or my director keeps telling me that I got to speak into the microphone.
Well, over the past 2 years, crypto's up 23. Crypto adoption's up 23%, 100%.
So these are good numbers from Robinhood. They got a big valuation. Where is Robinhood trading in the after hours now? I will tell you because I am long the hood, Prince of the Hood, or whatever it is, Robinhood. It is up $2.03 to $48.51. These are good numbers. God, I finally had a positive day today. I was very happy with that. What did DPW do? Nothing. 2.5 million shares trade, and what did you say? Bob's your uncle?
Bob's your uncle.
Let's see. What is that whole thing, Bob's your uncle?
There's an old story. I can never remember where it comes from, but there's
that's
an actual thing, right? And it comes from England. That much I do know. I just don't remember the whole thing behind it.
I think It's Good to Be the King reached out to me on privately, and he's going to be in Vegas.
Oh, that'll be
We're
rad.
going to be arranging for a dinner.
Oh, sweet.
Isn't that nice?
That'd be great.
I think he's a Hollywood producer of some sort. I think he does like some sort of producing.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I know. I'm interested to meet him because I think he's connected to the Hollywood scene, like making movies or something like that. You know, you never know. But
look, seriously, I just like the fact that he has a picture with Mel Brooks because
he seems like a good guy.
Brooks. So anything else is gravy.
Let's get to the markets today because I thought that I saw a sell-off. I thought I saw a putty cat. I did see a putty cat. NASDAQ down 130 or 0.89%. So the S&P was down 47.81. The NASDAQ was down 130.27. Is that right? Wow, the Dow was down 382 points, down 1.8%. Wow, it's a big number.
Just remember, Josh.
The shorts helped us a little bit today. We have some hedges on. Let me just tell you guys, you can hedge all you want. The hedges never hedge out the risk. They just help a little bit. On the way down, everything gets painful. And what's worse is if you have a hedge on and your hedges are against you, and your longs are against you, then you're double
whammy.
Whammy. Thanks for throwing in the word because I would have went with my default word,
right?
Which would have been not good. Boy.
No whammies, no whammies.
Stop. No whammies. Thank you. Good job, Joe. I'm excited.
You should be.
Yeah, Bob, your uncle.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Are you
Give me a
serious?
second.
It's a phrase commonly used in the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth countries that means, and there it is, and there you have it. It's done. Typically says to conclude a set of simple instructions, or when a result is reached. The meaning is similar to the French expression. What is that?
Voila.
Voila.
Easiest
Pie, piece of cake.
Right.
And Bob's your uncle.
That's right.
You weirdo. You've been saying that for
My grandfather
years,
used to say,
dude.
but there's more to that, and I'll find it.
strange bird. I'm not going to get into the Afghanistan thing. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because my wife said, I can see you're depressed over Afghanistan. I'm not happy, and I don't believe the Taliban, that a lot of women are not going to be treated poorly. And I have 2 daughters and a wife and a niece and a mom, and I think it's terrible what they do with women over there in the Middle East. So
We agree.
But does it matter what I think, I guess? I don't know. I have a decent audience here, but I'm mortified. That's all I can say about it. I'm looking at the screen, not to be rude to you, but I have to figure out and will figure out how to show you things on these screens ahead of time that I think are really relevant to the trading we do, the risk we take, the things we're buying, etc. And it is not as easy for me to track them. So I am a little bummed, but I'll get over it, right? Because they're not here, and I don't know where they are.
We'll have to teach you how to use a computer later,
I need a lesson on how to use the computer.
apparently.
You mean just tracking the? Oh, you know what you do? You just take the URLs, you track them, and then click on them, right?
Yep.
Duh. What moved the market today? Hey, today we said we're going to do conversations with investors about, or traders. And so let's go to the questions real quickly here. I've already covered the market. Where's crypto at, Joe?
Crypto is all over the map, still down, Ethereum still probing 3,000. Bitcoin's down farther than it was yesterday.
Where's Bitcoin at? Let's just go into it. Where's it at?
See, this is my problem. I've got too many tabs open.
Just tell us where Bitcoin is.
It's at 44 and some change. Oh, that's why, because I had NFTs up. Sorry. It's 44,920 right now, 958.
So it's in line relative to before.
But
yesterday, right?
the important part is that Polkadot has actually fallen, but is up for the week.
Polkadot's fallen, but up for the week.
Yep.
Can you tell me what we use Polkadot for?
We don't use Polkadot for anything. It's an open source platform, man. There's probably a lot of stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore.
Kind of
about
warming up to the
cryptocurrencies.
altcoin thing.
I'm a little warming up to it. There are some interesting altcoins out there.
No, I mean literally the altcoin.
Oh, please don't.
What's
Pretty
wrong with
please.
that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I'm telling you, it just always makes me nervous after that big, everybody had their own token, everybody was doing it, and the initial coin offerings, people got killed in that. And so I'm not against it. I just want to be really careful if you do it.
Is that my phone? Bring it over. Where's Cris at? Is that Cris?
No, but I did text him.
Okay. I want to cover this stock. If we go to this real quick, we'll come back to the altcoin. So this is VRPX. They announced something with their IND for some mist that would avoid masks and blah, blah, blah. And the stock ran up dramatically. If anyone has anything on this, let me know. Stock is down to 20.49 in the aftermarket. I think it was $5 yesterday, $4.32. All day I tried to get a borrow, couldn't short the stock. I tried to short it at 30, 29, 28, 26, 27. Could not get a borrow, could not get short. Believed it would fall back. I think it hit 34, 33. What is that? 33.95. That is the 5-day right there. This was 420 just a few days ago. Couldn't get a borrow. Sometimes when you want to trade, you can't get a borrow. Let's go to the questions. Hold on a second. Hello?
Hello?
Now why? Okay, we'll redo them. I'll call you when I'm off the show. Yeah, later today. That's fine. Thank you. Bye. Well, that was fun. Sometimes you're in the middle of doing trades and people want to call you.
Dude, that is the greatest thing. 5 minutes late and Todd Morse into Encyclopedia Britannica.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's funny.
Wait, they don't like my Encyclopedia Britannica rant?
I think it was pretty good. Oh, Robinhood. See, you had to stir that whole pot up, didn't you?
I don't understand it. Was ALZN up today or not?
ALZN?
Yeah.
I'll have it up. I'll put
Oh,
it.
God. Are you kidding me? All day long it was up, and by the end of the day it traded down to 330? Jeez Louise. That's not happy. That makes me unhappy.
Yeah, that makes me unhappy.
Ah, come on. All those sellers, get out of the way. Wow, we had a sell-off at the end of the day for sure. Dow really sold off a little bit here. What's the difference between MIL and MILE and MILW? That's a warrant. Is it Satish? How do you say that name?
Yep.
I'm going to look it up because I want to give you the most accurate information I can. So, MILEW is a warrant, and that price is struck. It's a warrant for that company. It publicly trades under. When they put a W next to it, it generally infers that it's a warrant, and it's right next to the. I don't know the stock price. I can't speak. I don't know the strike price of the warrant. It doesn't have a description here on how long the warrant is out. I'll look it up for you. But that is a warrant on the same underlying common stock as MILEW. Let's see here. MILE, was that mile? Metro Mile. So Metro Mile trades for $4. The warrant trades for about $4.55. And if you look at these warrants and how they trade, that's a weird angle. Wow. If you look at these warrants in here, see how they trade relative to time value, right? How much time is left on the warrant, and that'll give you time value. And then intrinsic value is, well, if the warrant is at $4 and the stock is at $5, there's $1 versus of intrinsic, right? So you have the value of what it's worth because it's in the money, and the value of time. And that is the time value of money, which is like, hey, I have the right to buy, in my case, I have the right to buy ALZN, I believe at $3 for 5 years or 6 years. That gives that warrant a lot of value, and those can be valued on what's called a Black-Scholes model. But when they're trading, the market makers will give them value based on time, volatility, the likelihood that they'll be in the money. And you see that trade that as the time goes by, as a warrant goes towards the time expiring, you get time decay. You don't get intrinsic decay, because intrinsic is, hey, the warrants, you could buy it at $4 and the stock is $5. That's $1 worth of intrinsic value. There's no decay there. But you do get decay from time, meaning every day that I wait, that warrant becomes less and less valuable because eventually it will run out of time.
Right.
And that's the options market for you. That's the 5-minute version of probably the worst training you could ever go through with me on options. I suspect that vast majority of people will not understand options, and you need to spend some time with them to make sure that you pay attention to them. Robinhood said that crypto trading jumped over 45 times, 45-fold in the second quarter to 233 million. So Robinhood is really tied to crypto.
There's there's a lot of news out on crypto adoption in the last week. I mean, it's
really tied to crypto. Anyways, that's what's going on here. Robinhood is down in the aftermarket to 47.20. It's funny, I'm being notified by Robinhood that they're down.
Well, that's
because
good.
they own Robinhood inside Robinhood. That's funny too. Where's Naked Brands at?
51 something.
Every day I keep adding to Naked Brands. Every day with the hope that it gets closer and closer to doing a deal. So today I'm going to add another 50,000 Naked Brands. Here we go, 50,000 Naked Brands. I'm going to go on the bid. Let's see if they hit us at all. Ready? I put a bid in, it immediately goes up. They filled me on a little bit. I bought 3,688 shares at 51.21. The bid is now 51.50, and the offer is 51.85. I'm like dollar cost averaging into it.
So you should. I mean, did you 25, right? I mean, so not 25, 250,000. Although probably since you did that, you're close.
Why would Biz Money say that's his favorite part of the show? Shouldn't be your favorite part. Really?
Todd.
What?
Chase wants to know if you want a sandwich from Capriati's.
What has happened to this
I know
show?
it's like in the middle of the show.
Is everyone ordering?
No, he was just gonna order, but then like I'm going to FedEx after, so like I don't know.
Why don't we order for everyone?
Okay.
Right now, why don't you just get everyone's order?
I think Di already got me something. I don't know though. She said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Yes." And
I got to take care of the other two that are.
I didn't
there.
say you didn't have
Yeah,
to.
I know,
ask him
but
about
Chase
that?
can also ask them. So
Well, can you make sure he asks them too?
Yeah. But what do you want?
Here we just do everything out in the open. We're very transparent here.
Food ordering with Todd.
See how much we are allowed to. Todd is so rich, you might as well add 50,000 to Naked Brands.
500K.
Is that 500K? Well, I've already added, I think, like $1 million just in the last week. And I don't know that I'm so rich. I don't think I'd be telling people that.
I wouldn't be.
I do okay. Actually, someone published something online about my wealth.
I know you were.
I was like freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't want anything.
They're not eating?
No.
What is wrong with this place?
There's just a lot going on.
But I know
we
you're
don't
gonna
get
be
hungry.
hungry.
We do get hungry. I mean, it's normal human stuff. Did you see that Bank of China cleansed? That's the exact language they used. 11 companies from their bank for illicit use of cryptocurrency. Yep. Wiped them out. They won't release who they did it to, so let's hope it's not, somebody that's big and going to ruin their economy. But, yeah, interesting.
Okay. Now, I think... Roland, I'll take a pastrami with pepper jack, please. That was very helpful because that's actually the thing I wanted to cover. Thank you so much. I'm going to go look and see if I can find that. This is really important. This is driving me batshit. I gotta figure this out. There's a very important video. Can you see if you can find that on CNBC?
Yeah, sure.
There's a video about the Chinese government. The Chinese government basically, it's scary.
On cryptocurrency or just the government itself?
It was about how they'll be punishing certain companies. They don't get in line. They crud, I'm not gonna be able to find it too, and it really sucks because it was a great video. It was a great video. It was about China and how they're telling their companies. No, this is bumming me out here. Hey, can I
Yeah, I can't see. I can't find.
Yeah,
anything
okay.
even
I really
remotely.
messed this up today. I'm sorry. Can I send who can I send a video to that I could put up on the screen? Who do I send it to? To send it to Josh? Okay, Josh, I'm going to send both these videos to you. Oh, we're in the same room together, so I can just
Airdrop.
I have two Josh Smiths, one's with a picture, one not. That's weird.
He's already looking.
do
to
the one with the
replace you. He
picture?
just likes your name.
Does it say you got it? Because I'm airdropping it to you. Oh, that's because you have your. It says waiting. You got it? I'm going to airdrop this one to you, too. Sorry, Skyla, don't take that one.
Okay.
No, they're whole videos. Can you play part one and then part two? We're figuring this out, guys.
It's all this technology.
Hey, Double Trouble, when is the annual meeting coming up for Naked Brands? I'm really bummed because I thought this video would be fascinating to see this. I'm going to find it, and when I do, I'm going to make it available for everyone.
August 20th, 2021 at 10 a.m. Sydney time.
What?
Hang on.
August 20th?
The annual general meeting of shareholders of Naked Brain Group Limited will be held on Friday, August 20th, 2021 at 10 a.m. So I don't know,
So are you able to play both of them or one of them?
10 p.m. our time.
Now, will we get a violation for this? Will we get a violation for this?
I have no idea. We might get a copyright hit, but as long as we got commentary.
Okay, can you play number one first for me? These are worth the trouble, trust me. But you got to be able to hear the audio.
Dun, dun, dun.
Venezuelans voted for socialism. They elected Hugo Chavez.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Some Americans were excited about that. Venezuela was once the richest country in Latin America. It still has the world's biggest oil reserves. But 20 years ago, Venezuelans voted for socialism. They elected Hugo Chavez. Some Americans were excited about that. Model Naomi Campbell visited Chavez, calling him a rebel angel.
This is you and Hugo Chavez. Oh, Michael Moore! Michael Moore!
Really?
he says, help me write my speech.
He is one of the most important forces we've had on this planet.
And even today, as Venezuela collapses, many Americans say, don't blame socialism.
Actually, blaming socialism for Venezuela's riches to rags story is grossly misleading.
Yes, Venezuela is going through an insane political crisis right now, but it's not clear that that crisis has anything to do with their socialist policies.
This popular video, The Collapse of Venezuela Explained, never once mentioned socialism.
Oil prices plummeted in 2014, and Maduro failed to adjust.
Media personalities suggest only conservatives say socialism destroyed Venezuela.
If you follow conservative media at all, you may have seen it frequently painted as the inevitable, dire consequences of a socialist government.
The problem isn't socialism, says John Oliver.
It's a story about epic mismanagement.
But mismanagement is what happens under socialist governments. It always happens, because no group of central planners is wise enough to manage an entire economy. Even if they have good intentions, the socialists eventually run out of other people's money. The socialist solution then is to print more. That caused massive inflation.
The nation's failed economy is expected to hit 10 million% inflation this year.
When business owners raised prices to keep up with inflation, government often took away their businesses.
10 million%. Is that a real number?
This man just had his.
And there it goes.
What happened?
Lost feed. I don't know. Oh, no. Yep, computer went down. Reset.
All right. Well, there's a point to these videos, and we're gonna have to figure out a way to share them with you because Mike, this is a commentary for YouTube out there. We're not trying to steal anyone's content. It's the management of the resources that's the issue. Socialism believes the government should manage the resources. We lost you, Josh. Whatever happened, everything went off.
You turned the computer off as you walked out. Your magnetism shut that thing off. And now it's trying to...
Socialism believes, this is important, socialism believes that the government should manage the process, and that's a problem because no government in history, and by the way, there's so much more about this, about Sweden and Denmark and how Bernie Sanders and others are misleading people that they're socialist economies. They're not. NVIDIA beats earnings, however. We'll put the links up, but I really wanted to go over the commentary. Is there a problem with that? Just tell me if there's a problem. We can do it tomorrow. Is there a technology where we can put those up and watch them? Okay, well, I don't want to cause a problem there. So NVIDIA adjusted versus they earned $1.04 adjusted versus $1.01 as expected. 6.51 billion versus 6.33 billion. I want to check and see where NVIDIA is trading in the aftermarket. Let's see that here. I'm used to Jason over there checking these things in the aftermarket, and I see NVIDIA down $4 to 190. The high of the day was well, we'll get that. NVIDIA is down about $4 to $190. So, but it says cryptocurrency chip sales faltered. That would have something to do with the fact that the hash rate's down, and you see a big decline in what people are going to be doing with Ethereum because it's going to go to proof of stake, right?
Yeah, and it also would have to do with the chip manufacturers actually hampering the max CPU while it's mining GPU, or GPU speed while it's mining. So you're not getting anywhere near the normal power you'd get out of it if you're not using it for video-related stuff.
Got it. Got it. Josh, why don't we can that because we have 27 minutes and I want to get to viewer questions. And that's really important to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
What happened?
Dead air. You were getting in trouble. The producer's yelling at us.
Who's yelling at us?
Brett.
Oh, a little dead air never hurt anybody. Any 13D filings today, Josh says. Josh, no, I don't believe there's any new 13D filings. We don't have really a lot of things on our radar now for 13D. We're in SSNT. We're in FRD. We're in BCTX, which is Briacell. And the other 13D we have is... Can someone help me out here? I wish Jason was here a little bit on this one.
You do wish Jason was here.
Yeah, because he follows this stuff.
Because literally he has everything at his fingertips.
What's the other 13D filing? It tells you. Kind of lost my mind a little bit.
You kind of did. You used to rattle them off. HUSA.
Oh, see? That was easy to solve. HUSA. HUSA. So we have four 13Ds out there. We have an IPO filing for our $100 million SPAC for Ault Disruptive Technologies, Inc. or Corp. Out there. That's the only filings we really have out there. So let's see here. Check out GILT, G-I-L-T. Kathy Woods bought it in her Israeli ETF. GILT is ranked by Deutsche Bank as one of the 30 best future stocks. What is GILT?
Looking at it right now.
GILT. GILT. It's not GILT Group, right? Oh, satellite network. You mean the satellite network? I presume, Tim, you mean the satellite network. Let's bring up the chart here. This is the 1 day. The stock was 964. It's fallen back to 962. Oh, this is not a big move here. What, 3 cents? Huh. Market cap 544 million. 52-week low 480. 52-week high 2269. Is that the stock that he's referring to? Let's see. Where is GILT based out of? Skyla, will you write that symbol down for me? GILT.
Yep.
Appreciate it. It is based in Israel. I'll put it on my list and check it out. Anything satellite based, they got a lot of things going on there. You can take it off the screen. Let's see here. Favorite part of the show, Todd grabs his cell phone. We already covered that one. Hood down because of second quarter loss. Todd is too rich, blah, blah, blah.
French dip for me, please.
Skylar, please bring me some food. Oh, you mad at Bears? So mad on StockTwits board. Somebody keeps posting your buys live.
Must be someone watching the show. That's kind of interesting.
When are you going to, Todd? Wait, Todd. When are you going to incorporate open monologue to your show? Opening monologue.
Oh yeah, like Jay Leno or somebody. That'd be great.
That's an interesting idea. Tim Steiner. You guys are going too fast. Slow down, man. Socialism is not always the door. Socialism is not always the door to communism. Socialism established a state principle in Germany constitution, but Germany is not a communist country.
I would agree with that.
It's true. HUSA has earnings on Friday. Is it possible to distribute some ALZN stock to DPW shareholders? Satish, I've actually thought of that idea. You always think of it, and I wouldn't put any weight in that at all. Pardon the pun. I wouldn't put any weight in my thoughts on the dividend of that. But conceptually, the way holding companies work, I'm not suggesting we're gonna dividend out any ALZN. But conceptually, the way holding companies work is as they develop subsidiaries that they want to bring public. And I'll give you a real world example of that. I worked for Dean Witter. We went public when we were owned by Sears. And as a Sears shareholder, they distributed eventually, I think it was 2 years later, they distributed all the shares of Dean Witter to all the Sears shareholders.
Wow.
And so this is commonly done. When I was an owner and I was a big investor a long time ago, now big is relative, right? So I've been out doing this 32 years, long before most people here were born. There was a company called AT&T, not the AT&T you know today, but another AT&T that owned National Cash Register, a company called Lucent Technologies,
Yep.
AT&T Wireless, and what AT&T did was what's called trivestiture, and they broke up and they gave you a dividend of Lucent and AT&T Wireless and National Cash Register, NCR.
I remember that.
And I was part of a breakup, and I'm dating myself. I could get this wrong, but I was part of a breakup when I invested when I was really early. I think I was 18 or 19 years old, and I invested in Philip Morris, not the Philip Morris you know today as Philip Morris International, but this is pre the tobacco settlement. And believe it or not, Philip Morris owned Kraft.
Yes, I remember that too.
And they did a 4-for-1 split, and they broke up Kraft, and they dividended that out, and then Kraft went private, and blah, 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 blah. So a lot of this has happened before. Hey, Todd, I'm a new DPW bag holder. Just looking back around 2017, 4,000 stock price. What's that about? Sorry if you already covered this topic. Newbie here. Well, King Ralph, unfortunately, DPW had a run up in 2017 and 18 because of cryptocurrency. We made power supplies for Bitcoin. We also became Bitcoin miners. The stock got very concentrated. It had this big balloon upwards and a collapse with Bitcoin. For various reasons, we had to split the stock to stay on the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange. It was terrible for me and the shareholders. And that's why it has that big price. We've since stabilized. Far different company. We use a lot less debt. We don't. In fact, I don't even think we have any debt of any kind. Right. If we do, it's minus. Well, I think it's under a couple million. We have a balance sheet that's about $259 million, and we maintain a lot of cash balances now. And we're a lot more methodical about how much we have as a percentage of our investments in cryptocurrency, etc. But unfortunately, we all experienced 2 reverse splits, and that was a terrible time frame for us.
Yep.
Any chance that Naked could use MTIX for the new green clothing line? MTIX's finishing products absolutely could be used. More on MTIX later. I refer you to the 8K yesterday, I believe, or the day before that, whatever day we did earnings, where there is a deck that outlines what we think is happening with our position in MTIX. Can't really comment on MTIX right now. Any thoughts on AMTX? I will look at that. AMTX. AMTX. I know this company. What?
Look at a good Be the King's comment. GILT, it's what my Jewish grandmother lays on quite thick. That's great.
Cupertino, California. Wonder what they do. Oil and gas refining. Really? Dead air, as they say. Renewable fueling. I'll have to look into it. Skyla, we put that on the list. I don't know this company.
I have a good question for you.
Sure.
United Wholesale Mortgage. What did you hear about them, if you did?
That is a competitor to Rocket.
Right. So their CEO in the earnings call said before the end of the year, they will be accepting cryptocurrency as payments.
Really?
They will be the first in the industry, according to him.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I can't get out of this screen here. Really?
Yeah, what does that do? I mean, that's a pretty
You're going to
big
accept cryptocurrency as a mortgage payment?
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. That's what he's saying.
Can you pull up that quote for me?
Yeah.
Todd, didn't say Todd. Any chance DPW could collaborate with SOS on the rent out of the 617,000 square foot efficiency filling Bitcoin miners? Just thought. Well, and I don't mean no disrespect, but the talented team that is at Alliance Cloud Services has been talking to many Chinese miners and miners where their countries have not been supportive. And I know this is a big inquiry we get. A lot of people talking about moving miners to the U.S. More on that soon. But yes, that 617,000 square foot building where we're building out 30,000 square feet of the building so far for the data center with up to 300 megawatts of power, there was absolutely the thought about allowing others to mine in the facility. Right now, we're mining in the facility. We disclosed that in the second quarter filings. Lots to go there.
Hey, Nick, can you pull up
Any thoughts on Wheels Up?
Hang on.
Wait, go back to the other question. WW421. When will you provide us investors with more details on Bitcoin Matrix, its electricity costs, guidance, production, amount per quarter, anticipated P&L margins, etc.? Hey, Josh, did you hear that question? That's an interesting question. When will we provide that? Stay tuned. I know. I literally had a meeting about this.
I know.
Morning.
I got it.
It's like someone was sitting in the room, and then they asked me the question. No, go back down. I'm going to go keep.
Wait. You want me to read the quote?
What's the quote?
The one from the guy?
Yeah, but I want to see it too.
It's right there.
Okay, let's see it. Put it up there. This is a newsletter for.
No. This is actual news. The Detroit News broke it.
Scroll down. Don't miss out.
Detroit Free Press was the first to break it.
Okay.
This was in his earnings call. He said, "We evaluated the feasibility, and we're looking forward to being the first mortgage company in America to accept cryptocurrency to satisfy mortgage payments," said Ashiva. "That's something that we've been working on, and we're excited that hopefully in quarter 3 we can actually execute on that before anyone else in the country, because we are a leader in technology and innovation." And he said, further went on to say that they think they're starting with Bitcoin, but they're also looking at Ethereum and others. That'll be interesting, man. Pay your mortgage payments with crypto.
You're going to be able to pay your mortgage payments with Bitcoin.
Yep. I really wish I would have sold 3 pizzas for, a bunch of 10,000 Bitcoin a while ago. I know, that was a great story. The fact that he still had it was even better. So what does that do to the adoption of Bitcoin? I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Walmart's looking to do it. Again, leading retailer. Boom. Exactly.
That's a big shot across the bow. When did this happen? Are we behind the 8 ball here, and everyone else knows this?
I think we may be behind the 8 ball on this one. This was in today's briefing for crypto. So when was their earning call? I don't know.
Perfect.
Hang on.
Unstoppable.
22 hours ago.
We're not that far behind.
Nope. Seeking Alpha did it 18. So yeah,
that's going to launch a bonfire of opportunity.
That's a big deal.
They're highly regulated too.
Yep. So, what does that do? Fidelity's doing it too. I mean, Fidelity, the company, their big guys are asking them to roll stuff up into their funds, roll crypto assets in. Some of their big ones. They just made an announcement too that they were seeking to do that by December. I think that was like 4 days ago. It's being adopted by some really big companies.
Wow. Let's go back to the questions here. Joe, I want to stay on that topic later, so let's continue on here. Crypto is finally here to stay. I understand the importance of it. Retail, it's the only thing everyone can trade. It's always cash available trading, while stocks waiting on clearing stinks. Yeah, I got you there. I'm impressed with the audience's knowledge of this. Wells Fargo is no longer shuttering its existing personal... Oh, wow. Wells Fargo... They got a backlash over this. Wells Fargo is no longer shuttering its existing personal lines of credit after backlash. Wells Fargo is reversing its decision on personal line of credit for its customers. Wow.
I mean,
the decision drew criticism from consumers who lean product as well. Elizabeth Warren, frequently critical of the bank industry. It gives you the power of people here doing it, right?
I know, but that's
you should buy Dogecoin just to freak out everyone. Cuban says it's going to be easy to accept. You should say owning them all is the same as owning one.
Here's the thing.
One coin to rule them all.
Here's the thing. Cuban doesn't own that much Dodge.
How would you do that, though?
Cuban just said I think Cuban just put out that he only owns like $480 worth of Dogecoin. And his team accepts it. I get it. But him personally, he's not that invested. He just thinks it's the way of the future.
So, Tim Steiner, DPW's next big target is $1 billion in assets. Is there a target on how $1 billion will be divided? It was in the disclosure. It was $500 million towards purchasing operating companies that had cash flow EBITDA positive, or companies that were distressed that we would believe become positive. It was $250 million in real estate assets that were generating free cash flow. It was $250 million in the lender, and a blended rate of up to $100 million in crypto, between crypto assets and crypto producing assets, specifically Bitcoin.
Yep.
That was disclosed, so that's not inside information, or that's not me telling the public something that everyone wasn't privy to. On the conference call, we covered it. In the deck, we covered it. In the press release, we covered it.
Yep. And you can go look at the filing.
Yeah. Andrew Mills, what industries would you like to expand into? We are expanding in real estate. We're expanding in technology. We are expanding our defense business. We're expanding our EV business. I'm pretty excited about the EV business. It's been hard to get those EV chargers because of various chip problems we've had and stuff like that. But I'm excited about the cycle, and we have a pretty big backlog there.
Yep.
So I'm excited about what could happen in EV. We talked about bringing Turn On Green public, or a public transaction that would give them access to the capital markets. We talked about Gresham Worldwide going public through some either IPO or get access to the capital markets.
Yep.
And so we talked about AdTech going public sometime next year, AdTech Pharma. Gray Ledge, which is a holding of ours, where we lent them money and we have a warrant against the company, so we can buy more of the company later. So I'm really pleased, actually, and don't want to stick on DPW, but I know that's a natural occurrence. But we really, really have built a portfolio around opportunity there. Hey, Skyla, speaking of DPW, let's get to the joke.
Okay.
That was a slide on myself, by the way.
What is 6 inches long, 2 inches wide, and drives a woman crazy?
What is 6 inches long, 2 inches wide, and drives a woman crazy?
$100 bill.
$100 bill.
I knew where that was going. And I was really hoping you were going to go. I was hoping you were going to guess. Oh, that was great.
Is a $100 bill only 2 inches long?
Wide.
Wide?
Yeah.
Wow. There's nowhere I could go with this but down.
Nope. Yeah. No.
Joe, can you give your thoughts on Digibyte? Thanks in advance, Boilermaker Bumpy.
So,
what the heck is that, Digibyte?
It's a cryptocurrency. It's peer to peer. So, they're pretty secure. I mean, you know, I don't have a whole lot of opinion on them. I'll get back to you on that. But from a high level, I know that, you know, they use 5 different algorithms. They're peer to peer. The problem with peer to peer networks, or at least some peer to peer networks, they're working in DeFi, and I'm sure all of you, or at least some of you who follow this, saw the big hack by the White Hats, where they took a peer to peer instead of a traditional network, and they stole $610 million off the network, then gave it all back. But they proved it could be done. So there's probably some work to be done there, but I will definitely look into that for you and probably have something on it tomorrow.
Wow, Robinhood says Dogecoin accounted for 62% of its crypto revenue in the second quarter.
It's cheap because people still don't understand Bitcoin. They think, oh, a Bitcoin's beyond me because I don't have $40,000, $50,000 to buy one Bitcoin. A lot of people still aren't educated that you can buy fractional amounts. Same with Ethereum, right? It's not like a stock. Well, I guess even on Robinhood you can buy fractional stocks. So, well, there you are, but much different, obviously.
Todd, is there going to be a new symbol for DPW? Yeah, eventually there will be. Chamath is bringing Equinox public.
Equinox Gym may go public with SPAC.
HUSA offering. What's that? HUSA did an offering?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What offering did HUSA do? Uh-oh.
Well, didn't Jason say something about that last week when he was still here?
They don't have that many shares to do an offering for. I'm looking them up right now to see if HUSA did an offering.
They have an S8 out?
Yeah, that's their S8 plan. I'm not worried about that. No.
That was Jason did that last week, right? Or did he?
No, this is the 18th. They just filed an S8.
Okay.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, for the employees.
Like, so what?
Yeah. Let's see here. 500,000 common shares.
I love that.
Yeah, it'll be take me 12 seconds to put those common shares out there. I can buy more. I can go right back in and get my percentage back to 14.9. S8.
No.
Yeah.
There
Got
you
it.
go.
What?
No, that's great. I just love the way you said it. You're like, so what?
Yeah, well, it's just whatever.
More stock for me.
Well, we're going to, listen, HUSA thinks I'm going away. I'm not going away. So, not going away by a long shot, HUSA. HUSA. That's
down 3% in the aftermarket.
Yeah. They don't know what they're doing there. They don't have a strategy yet. They're going to get one, hopefully.
They're going to get one.
They'll get a strategy, right?
Yep.
For sure. Hey, anything else we need to cover?
Yeah,
crypto-wise?
Seriously, we're not crypto-wise, but we're in preseason in football. That's super exciting, isn't it?
So, what are the changes been on the number of games there are and stuff like that? What's going on there?
It's a longer season. I haven't studied all the new rules. I do know that they're playing one more game and that I believe there is no break now between or there's a 2-week break and it puts us farther back on Super Bowl. I think Super Bowl is in March now. Might be wrong. Some of the rules are getting more ridiculous. I mean, they've tightened up the slide rule on. It's always been there, but now they're forcing the refs, and we've seen 2 examples of it. One was in the 49ers game, obviously, where the tackler went down before the slide happened, and he still got penalized for hitting the sliding player because he was supposed to somehow jump over him when he was in midair, when he was already committed, fully committed, like leaning down to tackle the QB. So,
can we go real quickly here? I don't know if you guys saw there were some tapering Fed minutes, and that's what sent the market off. And I'm going to spend the last 5 minutes. Can we go split screen on this? I'm going to play this.
You found it?
Yeah. This isn't the one, but this is one of them. Can we play it?
You look at what happened yesterday. We had Jonathan Krinsky on. We like to track him because he knows the
You got to pay
technicals
attention to
as
this
well as
because the
anybody,
Fed minutes talk about
He said
tapering,
he
and
thinks
this
we
is
might
an
be, and
interesting
not to
thing.
buy the dip.
It'll be.
Let's listen to what he said. and I
It'll
want
be
your reaction
air
on the
out
other
of the
side. Here's
room
Krinsky
on
yesterday with
stocks.
us.
We're seeing the weak areas of the market remain weak and even get weaker. So we're talking about, the K-Web, China Tech, the ARC funds, the SPAC. So those are areas of the market that, typically have seen decent rotations, throughout the year. But the last few weeks and even the last couple of months, really, they're just not responding to the upside like they have in the past.
Is that an issue? Small caps, he points out, have been weak. The semis. And we'll go through some of the data. What do you think?
Semi's making a stand here, I think, and NVIDIA obviously is now the most important semi, and we'll hear from them. Taiwan Semi, by the way, not in America, it is now the largest Asian company. Look, there's this guy. He works for Illumina and Pfizer. He's not really an analyst.
Dr. Gottlieb.
But he's talking about a peak in Delta, and he's not talking about DAL. And I want to know, you want to be short, a big short, ahead of a peak? How right, as opposed to the CDC and the FDA, has Dr. Scott Gottlieb been? I think that if you came in short ahead of a peak of Delta, you're going to be wish that you were on the wing of Delta in that famous twilight zone, hanging on by your fingernails. So I don't want to short it here. I want to buy the dip because I bet on Gottlieb, who, by the way, is on the boards of Pfizer and Illumina. Because you have to say that, apparently.
He does, and for good reason. So you like Tom Lee, then. We still want to, quote unquote, lean in on this weakness even harder after Tuesday's sell-off. UBS says we believe upside remains for the markets. They think cyclical parts of the market, including energy and financials, are likely to lead the next leg of the rally.
Well, I'm not sure about energy because there are secondary issues there. One is OPEC plus not so good, but I still think people have to be thinking about Venezuela. If they come back online, you do not want to own oil. Maybe Tom Lee's piece is being referred as buy anything in the world, including the kitchen sink. And it doesn't seem fair to me.
Mr. Everything Rally.
Well, I know, but does he really want that? I mean, I got Mr. Wonderful, now I got Mr. Everything. I got too many misters.
Steph, what do you think about this notion of being on the cusp of a correction? Krinsky says, don't buy the dip. It was a powerful note that was out yesterday, and the market seemed to go weaker on it when he came on to discuss it. But then you have the Tom Lees and the UBSs of the world and others, and Jim, who's defending this market.
Yeah, and I'm defending the market as well, and I have been for a while. And I point to the liquidity and how much there still is in the system. I know it's not as much as it was, but it's a lot. Excuse me, it's a lot, and we're getting more likely in terms of the infrastructure bill. I don't know the size of that, but we're getting more. The Fed is not going to do anything other than talk about tapering, and then maybe they taper, but they're not going to be increasing rates. So rates probably stay
So this
around
is important.
1.5.
The question is whether can we pull that off? Thanks. Whether they taper or not. Talking about tapering, jawboning, as they call it, you can. I don't know, Cris, where you went to. I know where you went to school. What did you major in, Cris?
I was an English major in college, but I also got an MBA in finance from NYU.
Wow. So he's much smarter than me. But when I was taking econ in college, which was my favorite topic, jawboning, which is what they used to call it, right? You can, and they still do, right? Jawbone. Rates up or down, and jawbone policy and decision making. I think they're jawboning about tapering. But when they do taper, it will be an avalanche of repricing equities from this zero price environment where we have the Fed at the 10-year at 126, which is dirt cheap, except you can't say it can't go any lower because the Japanese have had lower rates for years. But Cris, you've been investing in real estate, distressed real estate, and financing real estate for a long time. The cap rates are lower. I mean, are they lower than ever imaginable right now to you? Did you ever think it was going to be like this?
Well, I mean, cap rates sort of slid back up because of the pandemic, but they're back compressing along with the price of risk equities, throughout the system. And so, I think that there's probably a 200 to 300 basis point money printing premium in our risk-free rates right now, which obviously has a huge impact on terminal values and effectively the price of all assets.
Hey, those of you who just joining us or don't know who Cris is, this is Cris Wu, who's president of Ault Alliance, a subsidiary of Ault Global, DPW, and he is head of alternative investments for Ault Global, the parent company. Cris, maybe you could explain to everybody what an alternative investment is. These are some of these players are relatively new to the game. They're long maybe a couple single stocks. Maybe you could kind of cover what an alternative investment is.
Sure. I mean, the world is largely, public equities, public debt. When you get into the world of private equity and real estate qualifies, but effectively various forms of private equity, whether it's venture capital or traditional leverage buyout private equity as the industry started to mature more like 15 to 20 years ago, and structured equity that's illiquid. So I think we're talking about more the world of illiquid instruments that have a longer investment horizon due to that illiquidity. So that's how I would generically term, private alternative investments.
So we formed a company called Agree, Ault Global. How do I say it again? Ault Global Real
Estate Equities.
Ault Global Real Estate Equities, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the company. And Cris became the CEO of that. And Cris is deploying some of our capital in real estate, commercial real estate, some distressed assets, hospitality. Cris was instrumental in helping us refinance the hotel, which who builds a hotel in New York City in the middle of COVID? But Cris was able to find $145 million in his pocket somewhere. And that's what I don't think people understand, actually. Don't really want to talk about DPW so much. We've been doing that a lot lately. Right. But we just got off the quarterly conference call, and we just got off the disclosure about Cris and what we're doing here. And people don't realize this is kind of our secret. Cris is a secret weapon. Because it's not just my fat face anymore, or Will, or Henry, or James, but Cris is a financing expert. He came out of Tenejo, worked at JP Morgan a while ago. And I don't think people realize what DPW has on their team.
I agree. It's going to be fun.
I agree.
Get it?
Hey, Cris came in a little later. Cris, we'll probably hopefully try to squeeze you. What time are you flying back, Cris?
Tomorrow.
What time in the day?
3.
Oh, so Cris won't be on the show today. It'll just be today.
Yeah.
Cris and I have a very busy day today. We're going to get started shortly, right?
Shortly.
Cris, what do you think of the market right now? Any thoughts on the state of the economy? Anything you can share with our audience that you think is at the forefront of your mind right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the job owning will be in the offing, but I don't ultimately think that the regulators have the conviction to do anything about it because the consequences right now are still too terrible. So I think we are in a long-term money printing environment, in a low interest rate environment, and I think that's conducive to commercial real estate. And where we think the value is and the most alpha is in hospitality. And so I think those opportunities will continue to be, very good for us and very opportunistic.
Cris, I know you're a fan of Bitcoin, crypto, DeFi in general. Joe, why don't you tell him what happened that we saw in the last 22 hours? Maybe he hasn't seen this because he's been traveling.
Oh, you're talking
but
about...
I think he should know about this. It's a really interesting thing that happened recently.
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about
the mortgage
banks?
company?
Okay, so United Mortgage or United Wholesale Mortgage is going to begin hopefully in the third quarter, according to their CEO. Will be accepting Bitcoin, and they are also exploring Ethereum and others afterwards. But Bitcoin will be their first foray.
They're going to let you pay your mortgage with Bitcoin.
Wow.
Correct? To one of the biggest lenders in the country.
Wow.
I
had not seen that.
Yeah.
And to me, I think it's part of an inexorable trend where companies begin adopting Bitcoin and Ethereum as a more Bitcoin as a store of value, a treasury reserve asset, if you will. And I think when they start saying things like, we'll begin adopting it for payment, they necessarily need to have it on their balance sheets to begin with. And so I think the payment capability itself may be secondary to investing some of their cash resources into Bitcoin.
Hey, we're pretty excited about having Cris around. Cris is a DeFi and crypto, I would say, expert here, or at least a big fan of it. One of the major reasons why Cris joined us was to help us with our crypto policy, what we're doing with Bitcoin and DeFi. I mean, we are a lender. Lots going on there.
Yep. I have testified as an expert on Bitcoin before.
There you go. He's testified on as an expert. That must make him an expert.
Apparently.
Hey, it's the 18th of October, October 18th, 2021. We appreciate you joining us. Josh is in the house. Thank you so much, Josh. Last couple days, Storyland working with us here. Cris, thanks for making the trip out to Vegas. Nick, Brett, thank you for being here. Joe, thanks for sitting in.
Yep.
I know it's not as exciting when Jason's here, and I'm not ranting today, but maybe I'll rant tomorrow. You guys take care. Be well.